Well, let's take a look then at the two teams. And Venezuela coach Richard Paez makes one enforced change from the side that defeated Ecuador on Saturday. Captain Vera misses out through injury. The much less experienced Luis Manuel Sejas comes in for only his fourth cap for his country. As for Argentina, well, they make two changes. Gabriel is injured, Maxi Rodriguez misses out, Ibarra and Burdisso come in, and skipper Javier Zanetti equals the all-time appearance record for his country tonight, this being the occasion of his 115th cap.
Well, for Venezuela, a solid 4-4-2 formation, and without Captain Vera, the onus is going to be on Vitali and Sejas to protect the experienced back four. Look for star player Juan Urango to go roaming and looking for the ball and providing support for their out-and-out striker Maldonado. A 4-3-1-2 formation of Argentina is full of superstars. Demichelis has got the opportunity at the back to establish himself as the legendary Roberto Ayala's replacement. And Kraft comes further up the field in the trio of Riquelme, Tevez and Messi. Venezuela can't afford to concede any sloppy free kicks here, because after Juan Riquelme's fearsome dead ball display at the weekend, they'll know that'll be a dangerous situation for them.
Referee tonight is from Brazil, the experienced Carlos Simon, who officiated in the last World Cup finals in Germany. Argentina are looking to get through to their 10th successive World Cup finals. Venezuela are the only one of the 10 South American nations never to reach the finals. But their football is evolving quickly. They're starting to export players in unprecedented numbers, and there's no question that that has improved Venezuelan football greatly. In fact, only two of their starting 11 tonight actually play their club football at home. The player that's come in for the captain Vera tonight, Sejas, is with Deportivo Táchira, and Vitali plays with a local club to this stadium that we're at tonight. This is the Jose Pachencho Romero, and Vitali is with UA Maracaibo. We're in the second city of Venezuela, who staged a very good Copa America in the summer. They have extended their top division here to 18 clubs. They, of course, have got the legacy of newly built and much renovated stadia all around this country. And before very long, I think they'll be talking about football being the #1 sport here, rather than what has been traditionally the #1 down the years, baseball. But one of the best footballing sides on the planet are in town. It's Argentina, who have never lost, as I say, to Venezuela. But can the underdogs upset the apple cart here? Conditions pretty good. The referee just waiting for his signal to get us underway here. And Argentina played within themselves for much of the match against Chile. Eventually they were able to do with the two spectacular free kicks from Riquelme. What have they got in their locker tonight? This is Ibarra, who will play at right back. It's a change of position for the captain Zanetti. That's been enforced because Gabriel is missing with injury. And an early foul on Arango, and Venezuela will want him on the ball a lot tonight.
Oh, not half. I mean, he's their established superstar, isn't he? Plied his tray in La Liga and done very well. He's got off to a terrific start this season. I think 4 goals in his opening few games, and they'll be looking to get him on the ball as often as possible.
This is Vaiania. Now Sejas. Overhit, he was looking for Maldonado. He did prove himself in the Copa America to be a good target man. We'll keep an eye on the Venezuela number 9. Giancarlo Maldonado plays in Mexico with Atlante, winning his 29th cap tonight. He's got 9 goals. Nice touch from Arango. This is Demichelis of Bayern Munich, getting a chance now to bed in alongside Milito on the ball. After the retirement of Ayala, it's a real chance for Martín Demichelis to make himself a regular fixture in this team. This is Ibarra. Demichelis. Now Burdisso is playing at left back. Zanetti's been pushed up into midfield. Well, of course, he has played many times before.
He's a quality player, isn't he, Zanetti? What an achievement as well this evening, equaling that fantastic record.
Joint record holder now of caps, along with the now retired Ayala. This is Riquelme, who played the full 90 minutes and defied all football logic on Saturday. His first competitive match since the Copa America final in the summer. Still frozen out at his club in Spain, Villarreal, and an early free kick here for Riquelme.
Well, we spoke, didn't we, about not giving silly free kicks away there. Tevez going absolutely nowhere, bundled into the back by Ray. All of a sudden, first moment of danger for Venezuela.
Well, they'll be happy it's wide for Riquelme. Venezuela defend it well enough. Here's Maldonado. Tidied up by Burdisso. Still work here for Abbondanzieri. One of 3 players, the Argentine goalkeeper, who play their club football at mid-ranking Spanish club Getafe. Quite a coup for them to have 3 players in a star-studded squad like Argentina. No less than 13 of Coco Basile's 25-strong squad play in Spain. Given away rather cheaply there by Venezuela. This is Cambiasso. Tevez. Zanetti. First real touch here for Lionel Messi. Slight hesitation before Carlos Simon's whistle was heard. It's going to be a free kick against Arango.
There's only 4 minutes gone, but you can just see already how hard Venezuela are working just to close that space down, not allow Argentina any time to able to settle on that ball, and I think that's going to have to be a theme for the entire game, to be honest with you.
Arango, nice little change of pace. Fouled by Mascherano.
You hear the crowd are up for it as well, can't you? What a difference it makes when you can get your supporters behind you. I think they're no longer classed as the whipping boys in South American football. Arango on the ball there, happy to drive forward and just gets caught.
Well, you're right, Don, there. No longer a soft touch now. Jose Manuel Rey scored with a spectacular free kick from further out than this at the weekend. The only goal in Quito against Ecuador. Anywhere within 45 meters of the opposition goal, this fellow will have a blast. Left-footed. Tries his right.
Just shows you, doesn't it? Because they actually, Argentina, put a 2-man wall up there. I mean, how often do you see that? A ball that far out, goalkeeper asks for a wall. They've obviously been doing their homework.
This is Paez, son of the coach. Rather hasty ball, under pressure, albeit. There, Burdisso. This is Rojas. Now, Ruga. Arango. Quite a confident start, this from Venezuela. All the impetus of that surprise win in Ecuador. Good challenge from Burdisso. Argentina qualified for the last World Cup finals with 3 matches to spare. They were able even to lose 3 of their last 5 qualifiers. They did the work they needed to do very early in the last campaign. Started off brightly with that 2-0 win in Buenos Aires against Chile. And start strong favourites here.
We'll be looking to do the same again this qualifying campaign. It's all about getting off to a good start and making the later stages of the competition that much easier. They were able to do that very comfortably previous qualifying campaign, and they've got the opportunity with the fixture list to get off to a good start again this time.
There's Coco Basile, the vastly experienced Argentina coach. Messi. Just drop here for Tevez, who's kept it in. Cambiasso, not noted for being particularly strong in the air, Esteban Cambiasso, but Tevez did well.
Reacted well, didn't he? Because the ball broke. Messi was dribbling through and the ball broke, and Tevez was the first to react. Spotted Cambiasso at the far post, just a fraction high for Cambiasso. Like you say, not particularly noted for his aerial prowess.
Mascherano, Zanetti, Ibarra. Trying to be fed again there by Tevez. It's broken for Rojas, who was fouled by a rather crude challenge from Hugo Ibarra.
A theatrical fall, wasn't it? That's a definite free kick. Makes you wonder, the referee Carlos Simon is going to have a lively old game here, we would suspect.
Cicero, Vitali, it's given away poorly there by Vitali. This is Messi.
Didn't quite spot that run from Tevez on the right-hand side early enough for Messi. I think had he done so, caused all kinds of problems for Venezuela, who are taking risks at the back, trying to pass that ball out.
Vitali's got an important job to do, you feel, for Venezuela tonight, with the captain Vera, who is very much the holding player in midfield for them. Vitali looks like he's got that role in the skipper's absence, and he's just looking a little nervous with his last 2 or 3 touches, Vitali. How about that for a nervy moment for Abbondanzieri? Closed down very quickly by Maldonado.
Well, Maldonado, I think it might have been Rojas as well, were helping him, but 2 of them just sprinted after the Argentine defenders. Didn't give them a minute on the ball, and it culminated with the ball going back to the goalkeeper. That's a gamble he's taken there. To just do that in your own penalty box. Yes, he gets caught, but that is a risk that Coco Basile will not want his goalkeeper taking, I'm sure.
Well, it's rather a self-inflicted injury for Roberto Abbondanzieri. He looks in some distress down there.
It can be painful, those kind of blows, you know, when you get caught on the top of the foot there. I suppose we could say it's a decent bit of skill by him, but it's not his job. His job's to keep the ball out of that net, not take huge risks like that.
It's Richard Paez, the long-serving coach of Venezuela, currently the longest serving on the South American continent. He's been in charge for nigh on 7 years now, and he really has transformed Venezuelan football over the last 3 or 4 years. This man is in his second spell with Argentina, Basile. Just checking that his goalkeepers will be okay to resume. Very much looks the case. Javier looking for a free kick. Nothing coming his way. Demichelis. Forward by Ibarra. Rojas. Arango forward here to Paez. Looking here for the run of Maldonado. Excellent approach play there from Venezuela.
Well, they have started this game incredibly confidently, haven't they, Venezuela? This newfound confidence, this newfound belief. And why not when you can pass the ball and carve Argentina open like that? Terrific, terrific interplay. Good passing, good movement. Culminates in a decent opportunity, doesn't it, for Maldonado to at least hit the target and work Abbondanzieri. Doesn't manage to do that, he'll be disappointed.
Paez, who provided the pass for Maldonado, who now goes to ground under challenge from Demichelis. Referee Simon says play on. He's a striker who'll very much put himself about, make life as uncomfortable as he can for the two centre-backs, Milito and Demichelis. As a lone striker's role, really, in the setup for the coach Paez. Arango will try and get in and around him.
It's just allowing them, isn't it, Venezuela, just to keep things tight in that middle third of the pitch, just by having Arango in there and leaving Maldonado a little bit up front on his own. But it's a ploy at the moment that's serving them quite well.
Once upon a time, Venezuela used to go out and just hope they could keep the score down to a respectable margin. It's not the way they approach matches these days. Messi. Lionel Messi hasn't scored in his last 4 appearances for Argentina, but even by his own extremely high standards, he's begun life in La Liga with Barcelona this season in wonderful fashion. 8 goals in 8 games for his club so far.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it?
Venezuela will be happy that this is too far out for Riquelme to go direct for goal.
He's placed that ball down very, very deliberately. I think you should be right, but you just never know.
I'm sure he's just going to chip this one in. Oh, and it's a free header! A goal for Gabi Milito. And Venezuela caught flat-footed. And Riquelme, the hero with both goals at the weekend, now becomes provider. Gabriel Milito of Barcelona makes it Venezuela 0, Argentina 1.
Wow. All down to the delivery, isn't it? Riquelme, fantastic delivery. Milito knows that this ball's going to come in with accuracy and pace. Loses his marker, and it's a simple goal for him in the end, isn't it? Nobody anywhere near him, and look at the reaction from the Venezuelan defence, asking questions, and they must do, because for 15 minutes they've matched Argentina, and just by switching off for a second. Back's against the wall, isn't it? It's a difficult uphill task now.
That was a cynical case of obstruction. The referee right on the spot. Painful one for Messi. Maybe more pain for Venezuela, because this is within range for Riquelme.
Disappointing from their point of view, isn't it? Venezuela well in the game, things going quite well, working very, very hard to keep things tight in that middle third of the pitch and close Argentina down and give away a free kick. Get punished. Sloppy defending.
Only Gabriel Milito's second goal for his country on the occasion of his 30th cap. Won't get too many more easier ones than that. Wasn't too dissimilar a position from which Riquelme scored the second of his stunningly precise free kicks against Chile at the weekend. On that occasion he went to the goalkeeper's left. Well, he doesn't take that. There was disguise about it. I'm sure Venezuela, like me, thought it was going to be Riquelme to strike it.
How could you not think that after the weekend? It's clever play by Argentina. Clearly got faith in several of their players to strike those dead balls. Wasn't far away.
Just one momentary lapse, which Venezuela paid a heavy penalty. Prior to that, they had begun in very confident fashion. Had that chance for Maldonado.
You do feel the next 10 minutes is important for Venezuela. They've got to get over the disappointment of conceding that goal, keep things tight, keep themselves in this game and build that confidence back up.
Ruga. Rojas. And he's allowed that to drift into the path of Zanetti, who did well under pressure. This is Riquelme. Always sees the right pass. Now Lionel Messi. A firm challenge from Ray. An important one as well.
It took 3 or 4 Venezuelan defenders to get around Lionel Messi there, didn't it? Fully aware. He was always looking to cut back onto that left foot, wasn't he? Seen him do it time and time again. Defending in numbers seems to be the order of the day to try and stop him.
Number 17 there for Venezuela, Rojas, played at left back during the Copa America. Paez, the coach, utilised him in the centre of midfield against Ecuador, does again here against Argentina as the home side look to pressurise Argentina here, but there was a foul on Demichelis by Maldonado.
Just probably trying to do a little bit too much on his own. Initially it was a very good turn. As he broke forward, then he was confronted by a couple of Argentinian defenders. And that's where, when you're the lone striker, often the best policy is to try and hold the ball up just for a few seconds and allow a little bit of support to come your way.
Next up for Argentina, there'll be 2 more games for all the 10 nations competing here on the South American continent in November. And Argentina will be at home to Bolivia next. They were thumped 5-0 in the opening round of matches against a much improved Uruguay. And then Argentina go to Colombia, who held Brazil at the weekend. And maybe a touch unlucky not to beat Brazil. Colombia in that game. Brazil were lacklustre. Venezuela will be away to Uruguay and at home to Chile next month. 2.5 years. The qualification will last. This is Arango. Very little backlift.
It's good skill in the middle of that pitch, isn't it? It's an awfully long way out. Obviously a confident chap. Fancied his chances.
Lovely turn from Arango, dropping nicely for Vallenar. Away by Ibarra. Arango again. Forward by Vitali. This is Paez. Vitali again. Cicero. Rojas. Mascherano niggling away at him. Free kick taken quickly, and this is Ricardo Paez. Rojas. Useful space here for Vallenar.
Poor, very, very poor. He's been in a couple of decent positions, hasn't he? Vallenar getting forward from right full-back. The team are going to expect an awful lot better quality than that. They worked it well, found the space for him, got players into the box. Very disappointing end.
Venezuela just haven't been able to test Abbondanzieri since he picked up that injury. No problems there with his kicking skills.
He didn't attempt to dribble it out that time.
Here's the Venezuelan captain. The record cap holder for his country, Jose Manuel Rey. It's his 89th cap this evening, now with Sejas. Arango. Zanetti. This is the goal scorer, Milito, whose elder brother, Diego Milito, didn't make Coco Basile's squad. One of several top players who couldn't get into a 25-strong Argentina squad. No Pablo Aimar. Rodrigo Palacio of Boca Juniors. It's a great run from Arango, taking them all on there. That was very positive.
He's pleading his innocence, isn't he? Ibarra, when he gets that yellow card. Just driving at that Argentinian defence. Juan Arango, whenever he gets the opportunity, and you can see why he is the superstar of Venezuelan football, that's for sure.
First yellow card of the game then for the Argentina right back. Well, Arango has a good reputation. He it is who's earned the free kick and has something of a reputation as a dead ball specialist. We've already spoken about Jose Manuel Rey. Arango's in and around the ball, so too Rey. Oh, it's teed up. A bit of a disguise there, but Argentina untroubled in the end. Nice to see a bit of invention, though.
Yeah, they were just trying to work the ball, just work that little yard of space to give them a clearer opportunity, a clearer sight at goal. Argentina, to their credit, out like a flash.
Whistle is against Tevez, who looked a little puzzled at Carlos Simon's decision. Great turn from Arango. He really is in sparkling form at the moment. Rojas. Now, did the ball stay in? Crowd didn't think so, nor did the referee. Corner.
Well, I think between them, the crowd and the referee have got that right. I think clearly went out of play. Let's have a look. What can Venezuela provide from this corner?
Both the centre-backs have gone forward, Chichero and Ray. Forward by Vitali. Good ball as well. Vainilla. Arango finding some decent space again, but Maldonado couldn't collect the pass.
You do feel he is the key. I mean, we thought that before the game, didn't we? But this first 28 minutes have only served to highlight that. Whenever he gets on the ball, it gives the crowd a lift. His teammates are making angles for him, allowing him to run into the space and cause Argentina one or two little problems.
Well, more World Cup qualifying football coming up from South America. Don't miss Brazil's latest match. Can they improve upon that goalless draw against Colombia, against Ecuador? Find out Sky Sports 1, early hours of Thursday morning. Rojas forced all the way back here with Vega. Chichero. Well, in no way, in very nearly the first half an hour of Argentina dominated this match. In fact, the scoreline is somewhat harsh.
Absolutely agree. It is harsh. It's just one moment of lacking concentration and they've been punished. Venezuela. Take the goal aside and the manager, I'm sure, is going to be very, very pleased with the way his boys have performed. We've hardly been mentioning Tevez, Messi, Riquelme. These boys aren't really getting much of a sniff, and that's credit to Venezuela.
The bounce was awkward for Vainilla. Venezuela right back is one of 4 players who play their club football in Cyprus. They really are flung to all corners of the globe these days. Of course, Brazil and Argentina footballers have been exported for many years, but the other nations around these parts are catching up quick in terms of that department. Venezuela amongst them, Colombians, Ecuadorians, Chileans, all playing now around the world. Pioneer. Arango. Rojas. Firm and quick challenge on Arango. They spotted the danger man and are looking to close him down as quickly and as often as they possibly can at the back there, Argentina. He has that ability to find space like all the top players do.
Poses problems, doesn't it, for the central defenders when you've got somebody who's supposed to be playing up top, just dropping that 10 yards deeper. Just ask questions, gives you a little problem. Got to be in communication with your midfield, but at the moment, Arango, he is finding those spaces and he is seeing an awful lot of that football.
As Don Goodman pointed out, far more of the ball than the likes of Tevez, Messi and Riquelme have had. Here's Demichelis. Argentina captain is Zanetti. Now Liverpool's Mascherano. Riquelme. Messi runs into Vitali. Vitali. By all accounts, Venezuela rode their luck quite considerably in the 1-0 win in Ecuador at the weekend. It was only poor finishing by the home team which meant that Venezuela escaped with a 1-0 win. This is Seijas.
Got a bit excited, didn't he? Had options out on the left side there. Sensible ball would have been to roll it out, get himself in the box, but just a moment of glory just flashed before his eyes and he couldn't resist it. But it's definitely the wrong option.
Rojas. Argentina really struggling to find a rhythm. All the credit here going to the home nation Venezuela, who got beyond the group stage of the Copa America when they hosted it this past summer for the first time in their history. They bowed out in the quarterfinals, losing to Uruguay. This is Pioneer. It's away from Burdisso and then produces a poor cross.
Not that I'm counting, but that's his third. Again, decent play down the right-hand side. Just fails to deliver. They are dominating possession at the moment, Venezuela.
Messi, somehow Riquelme extricated himself from a tight spot. Here he is again. Tevez. Zanetti. Cambiasso. Burdisso. Run into Pioneer. Chance for a quick counter here, maybe. Rojas. Perfectly timed by Demichelis. Clever ball from Paez. That's the one area I think the coach will be a little unhappy with when they get into those wide areas. The right ball isn't arriving. Ray. Pioneer. Chance maybe to take on Burdisso. Thought about it. Rojas. Sejas. Free kick against Carlos Tevez.
Well, they're doing a really good job of pressing Argentina back. A quick one, too quick. That's it, it's just that little rush of blood in that final third, isn't it? And that's an example and an illustration. It's a Tevez incident. Really see too much wrong, and that's why Carlos Tevez gets a little animated with the referee. He's got good upper body strength. Much of a foul in my eyes, that.
Venezuela have certainly come a long way since the mid-1970s, when they once lost a Copa America game to Argentina by 11 goals to nil. Abbondanzieri had a good starting position there. Wasn't quite sure where that pass was heading, and the goalkeeper did the clearing job in the end.
Again, it's just a little touch to the side. It's a little gamble there. He's got away with it twice now.
Incidentally, the Venezuela coach, Richard Paez, was in that Venezuelan side that lost 11-0 back in the mid-1970s.
If he remembers that game.
Everybody will remember it to him, I'm sure, year on year. One he'll never forget, probably. Strong work here from Tevez. Trying to link with Messi. Riquelme couldn't provide the pass out wide to Tevez again. Cambiasso. Tevez. Support here from Burdisso. Riquelme. Referee judged that to have been a foul. Astute pass though from Riquelme, wasn't it? And a yellow card here for Chichero.
Well, they've been warned, haven't they? Venezuela. Free kicks, very clever pass, clever run. Just get in a tangle, don't they? Is that clever defending, or is it poor defending? It's probably poor defending, because he's conceded the free kick. Now they've got to suffer the consequences.
Well, I'm sure Riquelme would have preferred it a few meters further out, but with the bristling talent that he's got, and what we saw at the weekend against Chile, no one would be surprised to see the back of the net billowing here from the right foot of Román Riquelme. It's not the first time we've seen that this season. Players do try and anticipate the wall jumping. Riquelme tried to put it underneath.
Well, I think he did manage to get it underneath, but it actually hit Carlos Tevez, who was following it in on the heel and went out for a Venezuela throw-in.
Venezuela's first booking tonight as Mascherano is holding the shirt there of Sejas. Just a quiet word from Carlos Simon. But Chichero's booking is a costly one for him personally. It's his second yellow card in 2 games. That means he will miss next month's game away to Colombia. Santi Rodriguez was the only Argentina player carrying a yellow card into tonight, but he's not made the starting 11. Ibarra. Cambiasso. Three minutes plus any time to be added on to half-time. Still, Gabriel Milito's header separates the sides. Tevez. Messi. Oh, brilliant! Goalkeeper didn't see it. Lionel Messi, his first Argentina goal in 5 appearances, and it was very special.
Well, don't they say that football can be a cruel game at times? No real sign of that coming. Messi hardly been in the game, hardly had a kick, but that is what the boy is capable of producing. It's absolutely world class, and once he gets in on that left foot, you know what's coming. It's a rocket shot. Pace and precision right in the corner, and that leaves Vega in the goal with absolutely no chance.
Another gem of a goal from 20-year-old Lionel Messi. And Argentina, who've not really played at all well in this first half. Nothing like the rhythm we're accustomed to seeing. But nevertheless, they're 2 up.
Just before half-time as well. Just the worst time to concede a goal. He'll be pleased. His counterpart, Richard Paez, is going to be very disappointed because his team don't deserve that. But it just highlights the difference. It's that final third, it's that little bit of composure, that little bit of quality, and that little bit of magic, and that's been the only thing really missing from the Venezuelans' play.
Cruel game football can be, for all the brightness of Arango and the willingness of Maldonado up front. They just haven't been able to find the key to the door yet, but a much more confident side than previous years Venezuela, and we can't discount them just yet. Messi. Tevez onside. Messi, Riquelme, Cambiasso getting into promising positions, but it's a disappointing ball in from Carlos Tevez.
Very disappointing, isn't it? Again, got himself into a good position. Just singing their praises, weren't I, Argentina, about having that bit of composure in the final third.
Riquelme. Zanetti. 2 minutes of added on time at the end of a curious first half in many ways. Rojas. Pioneer. Comfortable interception there for Gabriel Milito. This is Riquelme. Riquelme's club, incidentally, Villarreal, gave the broadest hint yet over the last 24 hours that they are open to offers for Riquelme. I think it was pretty much an open secret anyway, but the hierarchy have said that January transfer window, he's very likely to leave, and he's very likely to have plenty of suitors. Be queuing round the block, I would have thought.
Right, certainly not for footballing reasons, is it? Given the talent the fella's got, the ability. There's another yellow card.
Shown to Maldonado.
Very likely born out of frustration. He can't believe that his team are 2 down the way they've played.
I read somewhere that the asking price for Riquelme would be £3 million. Would seem to be an extraordinary figure. An extraordinary 45 minutes we've had in Maracaibo, as Venezuela have played very well. Argentina have been far from their best, but they lead 2-0 at the break.
The lead sufficient to get them off the hook?
Yeah, I think so. I think the victory is what they want, and the victory looks as if that's what they're going to get. But, you know, Venezuela, if they can play it in exactly the same manner, but have a better goal threat, then they've got to have an opportunity. If they could get the next goal, then who knows what might happen in this one.
It looks like Richard Paez may make some changes at half-time, the Venezuelan coach. Not the first sport, of course, of Venezuela. They kind of came of age, didn't they, through the Copa America in the summer. Baseball's the national sport out there. Beating Argentina would be some home run, that's for sure. Back to Maracaibo. The commentary team, Don Goodman and Kevin Keatings.
Welcome back then to the Jose Pachencho Romero Stadium, where Venezuela are going to make a substitution at the start of the second half. Looks as though we're going to see Roberto Rosales, who's been limbering up, only 18, but he's a defender. When Don Goodman and I were just chatting before you came back to us, musing over whether we'd see Daniel Arizmendi, who's a striker with the home side. UA Maracaibo play their club football here. With 6 goals in 13 caps, Arizmendi would have been the more likely, given the fact that Venezuela are 2 goals down here. The home side are having to wait a long time for Zanetti and the Stars of Argentina. Now, what would, Don, the words have been from Paez, the Venezuela coach, at half-time? Trying to keep his players' spirits up, I think, after a pretty cruel scoreline.
Well, there were an awful lot of positives for him to reflect on in that first half. I think, as everybody's touched on, it's just that lack of a cutting edge in the final third of the field that has just let them down, and that's why we were wondering whether Arizmendi would get an opportunity in this second half, and we hope that if he does, that it's not Maldonado that is brought off. We'd like to see Venezuela with a couple of strikers up top and getting lots of support to them and giving it a real go in this second half.
Well, there's the 18-year-old defender, Rosales, who's coming on. Not the switch we expected, or I suspect a fair number inside this stadium. But who are we to question Richard Paez, the Venezuela coach, and the excellent job he's done with Venezuela these past few years. But they're up against it. It's been a Barcelona 1-2 in the first half. Goals from Gabriel, Milito and Lionel Messi has Argentina firmly in the box seat. If they can just find that cutting edge, and Venezuela have enough talent in the locker to turn this one around yet. But what they must be fearing is that Argentina will up their game. Be surprised if they don't.
I think they can only get better in their passing and their movement, Argentina. They really haven't really been at their very, very high standards that they would normally set and that we would normally expect of them. I think they were probably late out in the second half, because even though they're 2-0 up, they probably got a bit of a talking to from their manager.
Vitali has distributed the ball very well in this match up to now. Nice movement here. There was a slip by Milito. It's Arango. Tame effort from Juan Arango.
Well, if there's one incident that you want to sum up the entire game, really, that was probably it. And that's the difference between these two teams. You are very, very confident that had that been a Messi or a Tevez or a Riquelme on the end of that, that the goalkeeper would have been worked much, much harder than Arango was able to do that there.
So unlike Arango, he's normally a good finisher when he gets into those positions. Very much the player Venezuela would have wanted on the end of that. 9 times out of 10, certainly.
I think that actually goes down as the first save, doesn't it, that Abbondanzieri has had to make. On target by Venezuela, but on target without an awful lot of power.
Ruga. Vitali. This is Ray. No great surprise that the right back Vianney was taken off at half-time, with the youngster Rosales coming on. He's operating where Vianney was in the first half at right back, but without being too unkind to the veteran Luis Vianney, 33-year-old did not have a very good first half.
He saw a lot of the ball, didn't he? But he just wasn't able to provide his team with any kind of quality delivery.
Argentina with so much quality on the bench, and the likes of Javier Saviola, a very exciting 19-year-old Sergio Aguero. Fernando Gago as well, the Real Madrid midfielder. They just keep coming off the conveyor belt out of Argentina. Ruga. Rojas. Now Rosales. Well, the youngster's done well, only 18, and Venezuela have a corner.
Well, we all know the importance now in football at all levels of set pieces. It's all about a quality delivery. Riquelme provided one for Argentina in the first half. Venezuela got the opportunity to put this ball in a really dangerous area for Argentina.
Ricardo Paez to take. And it got a flick on. Abbondanzieri happy to see it fly over.
It's a decent ball in, it's a decent run to that near post. Just couldn't get over the top of that ball and head it down, but ball in by Paez. It's Maldonado making his run across that near post and loses his defender pretty easily, but just can't get over the top of it and head the ball downwards. Another illustration of a decent opportunity and not working the goalkeeper.
But again, like we saw for most of the first half, Venezuela having plenty of possession. Vitali. Ruga. Sejas. Chichero. Vitali. Paez. Just that little quality again there. Maldonado should have collected that better than the attempt he made.
Making some good runs, actually. He's pulling the Argentinian defence all over the place and actually finding good positions. That's a positive for Venezuela.
Sejas. Vitali. Now Rosales. Oh, the pass was short for Rojas. This is Ibarra. Mascherano, Riquelme, Cambiasso, Cambiasso to his Inter Milan teammate Burdisso, who's bowled over by Rosales.
Playing a little bit of keep ball, aren't they, Argentina, there, just for a couple of minutes, stroking the ball around, not going anywhere, but really in no need for them to be over adventurous at this moment in time.
Venezuela preparing to make another substitution. Got to really get something going up front. Talking about the goal-scoring record of Daniel Arismendi. 6 goals from 13 caps. They need that sort of quality now. They're taking off Sejas, so they are going to leave Maldonado on, which is sure to please the man alongside me. And Paez really has to find extra goal threat here. It's Guerra who's come on. Arismendi has to wait his turn. And Guerra straight into the action, trying to pull it back for Maldonado. Guerra is an attacking midfield player rather than an out-and-out striker, but he'll play further up the field than Sejas was. Give an opportunity, I think, for Arango to play perhaps a little higher up, right alongside Maldonado. That looks to be the picture. Chichero. Oh, that's risky. We could pay a heavy price here, Chichero.
Well, he got lucky, that's for sure. I don't think Tevez was aware of him coming in on the blind side. Just overran the ball. But that is so casual. It's the last thing you can afford to do against Argentina, particularly when you're losing the game 2-0 already. Definitely got lucky.
Riquelme. Demichelis. Now Milito. Vitali finds another good pass. Maldonado. Just a hint of an opening there for Venezuela.
You hear the crowd, couldn't you? The crowd thought so too.
Now it's Argentina who've given the ball away very cheaply. Messi's going to get to this first. Interception finally from the Venezuela captain, Jose Manuel Rey. It's an Argentina corner.
They are restricted to counter-attacks, Argentina. I don't think it's the way any of us envisaged this game going whatsoever. Yes, they're leading 2-0. It's Venezuela that are dominating possession.
Tevez, nice little step over, but Cambiasso's pass wayward of its intended target of Messi. Just one substitution still available to Venezuelan coach Paez. Arismendi must be wondering what he's got to do with his goal-scoring record at international level to come on and try and change the home side's fortunes. Argentina are yet to make a switch in this match. It's a nice turn from Paez. It's Guerra!
Once again, terrific short passing, sharp movement, build-up play. Absolutely terrific. Wayward strike at the end of it, though. To sound like a broken record, but that is the problem for Venezuela. Just not working that man there. Abbondanzieri, just the one shot on target for him to deal with, and even that was almost a bit of a back pass, wasn't it?
Mascherano. Riquelme. It's well read by Cicero. Hasn't had the best of evenings. Culpable for the first goal. Picked up another yellow card, so he's out of the next match against Colombia. The way he's played tonight, Cicero, he might not have been in the starting 11 anyway. Mascherano. Vitali, Rojas, Paez. Lorengo shows a frustrated figure there. He thought there might have been a foul on him. The referee didn't see it that way, and his attempt to regain possession, he's conceded a foul the other way.
Not happy, is he? Not particularly seen as much of the ball in the first 15 minutes of this second half as he was getting in that first half, and that in itself a little bit frustrating. Was that a shot?
That was interesting. The goalkeeper was way off his line, Vega. And that would have been a major talking point had that dropped in.
Didn't lack confidence in the first half, did he? Dribbling out of his own penalty area.
Abbondanzieri with designs on scoring a goal. Short back pass there from Rey, who's now lost out. It's a real chance for Argentina to make it 3. Set on a plate, no. Desperate late challenge from Ruga, and he did enough.
Well, that is defending of the highest order from Ruger there and left back. I think he's hurt himself in the process here. But he's just saved a certain goal for his team, that's for sure.
Well, he had to make it, otherwise Tevez had a tap in. Just harking back to that attempt from Abbondanzieri, the last Venezuela player to score a goal against Argentina was a goalkeeper, but look at that for defending.
Absolutely first class. He sniffed out the danger, tucked in to help his central defenders. And that's proved decisive.
Another Argentina goal there, and surely that would have been curtains for Venezuela. As it is, if they can find themselves a goal, they're still very much in this match.
You just fancy it has to come soon, that's the problem. Not really providing any kind of real cutting edge, any kind of real threat to the Argentinian goal. Everything else looks fine. You can't win football matches without sticking the ball in the back of that net.
Rojas. Lovely pass. This is Rosales. Here comes the first Argentina switch. Fernando Gago of Real Madrid. He's coming on to replace Hugo Ibarra. I suspect that will mean that Javier Zanetti, the captain, will drop in at right back, and Gago will take up his usual position in midfield. Fernando Gago's been called the new Fernando Redondo, the great former Real Madrid midfielder. And if he's anywhere near as good as Redondo, he's got a good career ahead of him. Gago. It's a foul. No question there was contact there.
Super skill, quick feet.
Might just take a set piece for Venezuela to open up Argentina. Square on there, Milito, wasn't he?
I think as an ex-striker, I'd like to give credit to Guerra there. Terrific skill.
Look at the space that Maldonado's got there. I think well, he's just peeled into a more crowded area now, but just for a moment there, Maldonado was standing in 3 or 4 yards of space. Free kick will be retaken by Paez.
Arango in the middle of that melee there. Obviously, typical bumping and barging in the penalty area that goes on in modern-day football.
Well, Riquelme is testing the patience of Carlos Simon, the referee. Paez to take.
It's really poor again, isn't it? Hitting the first defender. For me, it's a cardinal sin in football.
Forward by Gago. Messi, chance to run at Vitali. Ruger. Vitali for Rosales. Vitali again. Now Guerra. Rosales. Guerra onside.
Well, that is good goalkeeping. Read the danger. Abbondanzieri at the near post. Came a yard off his goal line to cut the cross out. But once again, it's fantastic build-up play by Venezuela. You really have got to take your hat off to them. The way they construct moves and get in behind. As we keep harping on about, it's this final end product that they need.
Another substitution before Rojas can take the corner. And that was the intention. There was going to be a switch, but that will be delayed for the time being. In by Rojas. Abbondanzieri getting a good fist to that under some pressure. Now the substitution will be made. And it's Arizmendi, player we've been talking about, coming on to try and add to his 6 goals in 13 international appearances.
Terrific closing down as well.
A little bit surprised that Rojas was the player to come off, because he's had a pretty good game and found a good eye for a pass. Oh, brilliant turn. Some wonderful skill there from Guerra. It didn't take him anywhere.
He's clearly a crowd pleaser, isn't he? That's 3 or 4 tricks he's got up his sleeve since he's been on.
Messi. So he got a trick or 2 up his sleeve. Squeeze for space in the end, but he has won a corner.
I think everybody connected with Venezuela must have their hearts in their mouths whenever he gets on the ball and he's running at the defence. Fantastic footballer he is. So young. When are you going to get better? It's a scary thought.
Messi again. Lovely pass. Riquelme! Offside. Given against Messi.
Just looked like he just drifted a yard off there, didn't he? But what build-up play again. Absolutely superb. Crisp, incisive passing.
Interesting to see that one again if our Venezuelan director affords us, because it was Messi who played the pass, and in an instant he was beyond the entire back line of that Venezuela defence to tuck the ball past Vega. Venezuela happy to see the flag. Vitali. Rosales has done well there.
Just for a second, I think Venezuela asking for a little handball in there as the ball was flicked over one of the Argentinian defenders' heads. Possibly more the crowd appealing than the players. You do feel it might take something like that, though, don't you, for Venezuela to get an opportunity to score. Set piece, penalty, bit of trickery in and around the box. Time is slowly running out.
Well, judging by all the reports I saw, Venezuela played a lot worse than this and won on Saturday. 1-0 in Quito against Ecuador. At high altitude, that's a place where Brazil and Argentina have perished a few times in the past. So it was a great start to the campaign for Venezuela. Lots of confidence going into this one, and they have shown in the middle third of the field a lot of quality. But have they got the class and the guile where it really matters, in and around that Argentina penalty area, to find a goal or 2 in the 20 minutes that remain? Here again, it's good build-up. What have they got at the end of this one? A good pass towards Maldonado. And Abbondanzieri had to adjust his feet there. This is Ruga. Decent ball in. Bravely defended. And there's a clash of heads in there.
Well, that looks nasty. Straight away. No movement. I suggest you turn him on his side. Looks very nasty. Always a worry when players lie motionless on the ground.
I think it's Gabi Milito. It's certainly Arango who's down for Venezuela. But it was a teasing ball played in by Ruga. Arango attacked it bravely, but equally brave. That's the moment when Abbondanzieri had to react quickly against Maldonado.
It's a good ball in behind, and that could have gone anywhere. Little touch there. Brave goalkeeping. Knew that he had to take one. Maldonado was in like a flash.
Well, there is some concern for the injury here.
Right on the back of the head, isn't it?
It's actually Burdisso who's down. He came into a central area, the left back, to cover, and he really did take one. And as you said, Don, it is a worry because he has not moved at all since he took that challenge. And they're going to lift him very gingerly now onto that stretcher. So that's the last, I'm sure, we've seen now of Nicolás Burdisso.
Another replay of this here. Arango attacks the ball in all innocence. He's looking to score for his team. It is a thumping clash of heads that leads to the end of Burdisso. Our thoughts are with him. Let's hope that's not too serious.
Well, they put a neck brace on there, just hopefully as a precaution. And well, good wishes there go to Burdisso. Daniel Diaz is his replacement. Plays out in Spain with Getafe. After that lengthy stoppage, Arango was able to resume. We've got a little over a quarter of an hour left, and we can look forward to more World Cup football from South America. Brazil against Ecuador, late Wednesday night, actually early hours of Thursday morning. Sky Sports 1 to see Brazil at the Maracanã, to see if they can post their first win after a goalless draw in Colombia at the weekend. Glorious pass from Riquelme. Cambiasso. Free kick against Guerra.
He's shaking his head, isn't he, the young man, Guerra? Any language, for my money, that's a foul. He's clearly just hacked at Cambiasso.
Riquelme's free kick. A lot of space for Mascherano. Arango. Paez. Loses out to Javier Mascherano. Mascherano with a license to come forward since Gargo came off the bench. This is Demichelis. Gargo. Cambiasso.
just happy to take the sting out of this game now, aren't they? Argentina playing a little bit of keep ball. And this is the professional thing to do. Make your opponents chase that ball. Can't trouble you when you're in possession.
Well, you'd hardly say Argentina have overstretched themselves in this game. Due respect to Venezuela, against a better team, it just might have been in a bit of trouble with the kind of performance Basile's side has turned in.
Absolutely, I just think with better quality against them in the final third, a bit more composure, clinical finishing, it could have been in trouble tonight, Argentina.
Amazing when you consider all the talent they've had over the last couple of decades. That it's 1993 since Argentina last lifted a major title. That was in the Copa America. Since they got to the World Cup final in 1990, they have not got past the quarter-final stage in the big one. It's offside.
Every year that passes that they don't lift any silverware, it's just that little bit more pressure on their shoulders, isn't it? They've got such a talented group of players. You know, they really should be challenging for these honours.
It's Ruga for Venezuela. No great urgency from the home team, despite the fact there's just 12 minutes plus any time to be added on left. This ball is going to stay in for Carlos Tevez. Gago. Well, they're beginning to cruise now, Argentina.
It's a little bit like a training ground exercise now, keep ball. You go to professional clubs at any level all around the country, this is almost like one of the sessions that a coach or a manager would put on. Just keep in possession. How many passes can you make without the opposition getting the ball? And Argentina, with the quality they've got, very adept at doing that.
Looking increasingly likely it's going to be 6 points out of 6 for Argentina. And they've got what looks, on paper at least, almost a guaranteed 3 points in their next match, which will be at home to Bolivia in November. That's a game you'll be able to see with us. Cambiasso winning good possession here. This is Messi. Tevez looking for room. Messi almost picking out Carlos Tevez. Still alive here for Argentina. Mascherano. Cambiasso. Deflected and off the post. It's a corner.
Well, again, we said how cruel it was in the first half. And that would have been the icing on the cake, wouldn't it, really? Argentina not particularly hungry to get on with the game, hungry to attack Venezuela, but once again, when they do get that opportunity, my word, they just show you that little bit of quality.
Into the last 10 minutes then, it's Lionel Messi with the corner, but before that can be taken, Coco Basile, the Argentina coach, takes the opportunity now to give an international debut to Herman Denis, 26-year-old striker from Independiente, the top scorer in the Argentina League this season, with 15 goals in 13 matches. Denis is a player you would very much describe as a late developer, unlike the likes of Messi and But as neutral, Stone, I think would certainly like to see Venezuela get at least one goal in this match.
Well, if they could get it soon, you just never know, do you, in football? But it's a long way, really. Really just haven't really shown any cutting edge whatsoever for all their wonderful build-up play. Crisp passing, good movement, no penetration. I mean, we have to be honest, the bottom line is for Venezuela, it's not about games against Argentina or games against Brazil. I think it's the next 6 games. They can go now 6 games before they have to meet Brazil. And they'll be measuring themselves against the other nations in this World Cup qualifying group from South America. And for the very first time, they probably, and rightly so, believe that they have a genuine chance of having the opportunity to qualify for a World Cup final.
No flag here. Decent run from Denise. Riquelme. Argentina looking to tease again. Mascherano. It's almost in slow motion, this. Poor final attempt from Mascherano. Venezuela's challenge wilted after about 10 second half minutes, really, didn't it?
Well, it did really. They've had a right good go. I think the coach, Richard Paez, is going to be very, very proud of his boys. Awful lot of positives to take out of this game, and they can show this kind of aptitude and commitment against the other nations. They'll do okay.
Well, they got 18 points from their 18 games in the last campaign. That was their best ever. Wasn't enough to take them above 8th place. Remember, it's the top 4 who qualify as of right. And there's an extra place available for the team that finishes 5th. They'll play off against one of the teams from the Central North America and Caribbean group, CONCACAF. We used to have a playoff against Oceania. It used to be Australia. It used to be Uruguay and Australia playing off all the time. But, of course, Australia have now moved into the Asian Federation.
Well, it was 28 points that did it for Paraguay in 4th place the last time the qualifying was on. So they need to find an extra 10 points than the last time. But they are a much, much better team this time around.
Chichero.
It's almost as if they've conceded defeat, isn't it now? I mean, they're passing it across the back line, no great urgency to get it forward. 2-0 against Argentina. Well, not a bad result. Played them before and done a whole lot worse, as you described earlier on in commentary.
A few years ago, they would have celebrated it almost like a win to lose only 2-0 to Argentina. But as Don and I have been saying, the expectations are a degree or two higher now. I have to praise the patience of the crowd. They haven't been getting over-animated when they were playing the ball around at the back. Almost as if the crowd, along with the players, have accepted the inevitable. Everybody will see the result around the world and think, well, that's what we expected. Argentina's strolled to a win, but anybody who's been here tonight and watched it, it's been more comfortable for Argentina, certainly in the second half. But it was an uncomfortable first 45 for them.
Never really had to get out of second gear, have they, Argentina? Sign of a good team, I suppose. They are going to have to play an awful lot better.
Again, no great urgency from Paez, who's going to leave the free kick here for Ray. Attempting another one of his spectacular long-range free kicks. I wonder how many of these he gets on target. Well, he did from just about this range against Ecuador on Saturday. Venezuela will find themselves a corner out of that.
It's almost outrageous that somebody would shoot from that distance. I can't quite believe it, you know. He's so far back, almost out of camera shot.
Paez with a corner. Free header in there for Venezuela. Away by Demichelis. Argentina edging closer towards maintaining their 100% record against Venezuela. It's going to be 15 meetings overall, and 15 Argentina wins. 9 of them in World Cup qualifiers. Here's a chance to put a little bit of gloss on the scoreline now. It's going to be Messi for 3-0. Oh, he was unselfish. Tried to set up a debut goal for Denis.
Well, Denis was unselfish in the first place, wasn't he? Because young man making your debut, scored all those goals. What is it, 15 in 13? You would have expected him to pull the trigger, but he didn't. Very unselfishly gave the ball to Messi, and Messi was just trying to return the compliment there. Doubt very much they would have done that had the game been poised at 0-0.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Rosales, Vitali. It's disappointing that Venezuela haven't just given us a last 10 minutes where they were prepared to throw everything they had left. They have had to do a fair bit of ball chasing in this second half. Some tired legs out there.
There's no sign of any centre-halves moving up front, is there?
No.
Not the South American way, methinks.
May just open up now for Maldonado, who was suggesting, Orban suggesting to the referee there was some contact on him.
Well, he's angry because he didn't anticipate everybody missing that ball. There's absolutely no contact on him. But this is the unselfish play by Messi, just trying to actually look like it may have taken a very, very slight touch off a Venezuelan defender there.
Passed up the opportunity of a simple third goal there, the Lionel Messi. But he scored in the first half, so too did Gabriel Milito. He got the opener with a header. Messi with a spectacular second, and that's been good enough. Here's a lovely disguised pass from Cambiasso. It's Denis. Well, Venezuelan director, right at the moment when Denis was bearing in on goal, decided to show us it was 4 minutes of added on time. Well, that's left us nonplussed. Here's a late charge from Venezuela, which proves an anticlimax again. It's a lovely pass, though, wasn't it, from Cambiasso that got Denis free.
Well, I think in the short time he's been on, you can see why he scored so many goals. He does take up some really good positions. He's obviously got a little bit of a turn of pace. And that's a couple of times he's found himself in behind that Venezuelan back four. At least we see in the replay of it this time. Just disappointing finish. Bit wild, and took a big swipe at the ball, didn't he?
Well, finally our friends got there. He just lost his composure on his international debut, Herman Denis. But what he is, he's a powerful striker in the mould of Crespo and Batistuta before him. Old-fashioned number 9. This gives Basile an option. But his first choice pairing these days appears to be Messi and Tevez, and why not?
It's another game that Tevez has gone without a goal, isn't it? That's 8 now.
Yep. One thing you can never question, though, is the work rate of Carlos Tevez. Into the last 2 minutes of time added on. Messi, or Riquelme finding a good position here. Wanted to try just a little too much there, one Román Riquelme. Messi, oh, it's found its way through, but the flag is up. And still, Denise couldn't find the back of the net.
Strayed, didn't he? Just strayed in his eagerness to get that goal-scoring opportunity. He realises he's missed a golden chance to get a debut goal. Wants another one.
Incidentally, it'll be June 2008 before we can all welcome Argentina against Brazil. The top 2. Of course, 2 of the nations that currently sit in the top 3 places of the FIFA rankings. Argentina 2, Brazil 3, Italy are currently at the top. Venezuela currently lying in 58th. Wasn't that long ago, they were as low as 129th. That's how far they've come under their coach, Richard Paez. Amazing run from Messi, who then was expecting a support run, didn't get it. Far from the best, Argentina, but they have cruised ultimately to a 2-0 win. 2 successive 2-0 victories. Carlos Simon, the Brazilian referee, poised with the full-time whistle. First half goals from the Barcelona pairing of Lionel Messi and Gabriel Milito. And Argentina have come back to the place where they lost so disappointingly the Copa America final against Brazil in the city of Maracaibo. But in the end, they had enough to see off the challenge of Venezuela by 2-0.
Head-to-head, played 15. Argentina won 15 now, but has the game ever been so close? And, well, has the result ever really betrayed the actual events of the game? Ray Wilkins watching it with us tonight. Ray, the scoreline favours Argentina. Overall, it doesn't really do justice to Venezuela's performance, does it?
I thought Venezuela played very well indeed, Mark, especially the first half. Second half, when they were pushing forward and trying to score to get back in the game, Argentina did take control of it and really could have scored 5 or 6 if they hadn't have been, you know, so generous. They were trying to get Denise his debut goal, but unfortunately that didn't come off. But they carved Venezuela open at ease in the second half, and I thought it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it. There was some great football, some great skill. The skill factor in this type of football is very